Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see all of you here tonight, here for the 100th lecture in the Omnibus Lecture Series. I think it's pretty fair to say that the previous 100, or the previous 99, excuse me, lectures have really been enlightening. We've had just incredible response, of course, to the Omnibus Lecture Series. And tonight for the 100th event, we have a kind of a reprise of a show we did 8 years ago for the 40th anniversary, and that's the, I'm sorry? Oh, I thought somebody said something. I'm always responsive to questions. This is, 8 years ago we had the Capitol steps here, and they were just incredibly popular. So we brought them back. They may have been the most popular of what we had. Of course, you know that the Capitol steps are former congressional staffers who, during the Reagan administration, I think this is apocryphal, but you'll put up with it anyway, during the Reagan administration decided if an entertainer could be a politician, then politicians could be entertainers. And so all of these congressional staffers turned themselves into entertainers, and you will find that the show that they put on is just incredible. And, you know, this isn't just ordinary political commentary. It's a little better than that. Well, of course, they're on the inside, but this year I think they've gotten a whole lot of special help from the folks in Washington. So, we'll see what they come up with. Let's take I'm going to speak to you a little longer tonight because I want to take a look back at some of the omnibus highlights and thank the sponsors who've supported us all these years. You know, Irene Walters chairs the committee that chooses the omnibus lectures, and she does a great job with it. Between the two of us, we've attended every lecture, and the first one, I don't know if any of you remember, Purdue keeps telling me I'm old, I remember. But Ralph Nader was the first of our omnibus lectures, and he was incredible. We paid him almost nothing, as I remember, and he spoke until after 11. The question and answer session went on forever, so we, after that, limited the question and answer session. We couldn't do it again. Now, Irene's favorite speaker was Christopher Buckley. She recalls that he was remarkably multifaceted, and it was really a memorable evening of a lot of laughter and a lot of really insightful information. She says Sean Astin she thought was great, Michelle Norris. I'm sure each of you have your own special folks. But the lectures that we've had, by and large, were people who really cared about either a cause or something that they were passionate about. They all did a great job. Well, I can remember a couple that weren't so hot, but by and large, they did an incredible job. As you've looked at the photos from the 100 lectures in your program, perhaps you've counted the number of speakers that you heard or picked your favorites. It's been a parade of outstanding people, and I think the Omnibus Lecture Series is just an incredible success for this institution. For me, I've really valued what our students have gotten from the Omnibus Lectures and the interaction with the lecturers. You might remember that every lecturer that comes, well, not these guys in particular, but every lecturer that comes interacts with students in a classroom situation. And so a small number of our students each time get this one-on-one experience with very, very well-known people, and that's really exciting. In the early years, you know, it's funny, I don't remember this, but I'm told that our first lectures were in NEF 101. Does anybody remember that? Because I sure don't. I thought we started out in the ballroom. I mean, Irene wrote this down, so I guess it's right. But but we had about 600 people when we used the ballroom. And you may remember not so fondly that we had overflow seating in some tiny rooms with some tiny televisions. We've changed that a bit, and tonight our overflow is in Reinhardt Recital Hall right next door, and it's a giant screen, and the folks in there will have a good experience. We moved into our auditorium in 2007, and you're one of, well, there are a few empty seats out there, but you are one of 1,600 folks who are going to see this performance tonight, and I think that's incredible. And I hope that you enjoyed using Parking Garage 3. That's the parking garage right out here, just in case 3 wasn't obvious. For those of you who didn't use it, try it out, because as you drive in, it tells you exactly how many spaces are available on each level. So it's a state-of-the-art parking garage, and we hope that it will alleviate a lot of the traffic problems that we have. And next season, I understand online ticketing is going to be available, so that'll make it a whole lot easier for you. Well, let me get back to our sponsors. For 17 years, the Omnibus Lecture Series has been sponsored by the English Bonner Mitchell Foundation. And we thank the foundation each time, each lecture. But it really isn't enough. I mean, that kind of loyalty is absolutely incredible. But we also have had media sponsors, Wayne TV and Northeast Indiana Public Radio. So all 3 of those sponsors have really been good to us. And we want to recognize and honor those sponsors tonight. And one of the ways I want to recognize them is Jack Lehman has been our champion at English Bonner Mitchell, and he has sent a video. So we're getting Jack Lehman almost live. And if we could play that video, he has a greeting for us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure tonight to welcome you on behalf of the English Bonner Mitchell Foundation, who is the sponsor of the Omnibus series. Tonight is the 100th event of the Omnibus series that has been going on since 1995. This particular group of lectures was an outgrowth of a conversation I had in 1995 with Chancellor Wartell. And we talked about this possibility. And at the time, I mentioned that when I was a student at Indiana University in the mid-50s, we had a group of lecturers come to the business school, and I really thought I got a lot out of them and enjoyed them. One in particular that I remember was John Kenneth Galbraith, who was a famous economist at the time and a professor of economics at Harvard University. At that time, Mrs. Mitchell approved all the gifts that were made by the foundation, and I took this idea to her in Florida, and she approved it. And though this is what's been happening ever since. I might like to say just a word about the foundation. It is funded by the estate of Dr. Calvin English. Dr. Calvin English was educated at the Fort Wayne Medical College in the 1800s. He was a major and a doctor in the Spanish-American War. He was one of the founders of the Lincoln National Life Insurance Company and was its first medical director. He was kind of a self-made actuary. He discovered, or he came to the conclusion, that if you recovered in the early 1900s from a disease at the time, such as TB, that your life expectancy was about the same as though you never were sick. And at the time, most insurance companies would not sell you life insurance. So he came up with a substandard premium, and they were able to sell insurance to these people. And you know the history of the company. It's been a very, very successful company. As you know, the programs have been very, very innovative and interesting. They've been sometimes provocative, and of course, they've been entertaining. English Bonner Mitchell Foundation is a local foundation. It's administered by PNC Bank, and here locally. And tonight, representing the bank and the trust is Mike Eikenberry, who is the president of the Northern Indiana PNC Bank. And so we hope you enjoy tonight's performance by the Capitol Steps. And again, thank you for being here.
That was a little grainy. Jack was speaking from the California desert, so it's, you know, the sand got in the way. But I hope you appreciated Jack's contribution, and as I said, he's just been unbelievably loyal to this undertaking. With that, I'd like to invite Mike Eikenberry as representative of English Bonner Mitchell, and Alan Reby, the general manager of Wayne TV, and Will Murphy, the president and general manager of Northeast Indiana Public Radio, up here to the stage. We have a little 100th lecture memento for you. I'm sorry, I should have said that. Thank you. Can you get the, let's get up there. I realize that you're tired of clapping, but let's give one more round of applause to our sponsors. And finally, one more piece of information before the show starts. There will be no question and answer period for this show. I was going to say these guys are entertainers. I don't know exactly what kinds of questions and answers would come out of this. But you can meet the cast in the lobby after the performance, and actually they're selling Capitol Steps CDs. I was supposed to say that too. So please join us in the lobby after the performance. And now it's showtime. I didn't hear what This is in my job description.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this performance of the Capitol Steps. Please take a moment to note the emergency exits located throughout the room. In the event of an emergency, please remain seated and wait for instructions from our Italian cruise ship captain. Okay, really. In the event of an emergency, please wait for the Congress to come to an agreement on how the building should be evacuated. Please turn off your cell phone. If your cell phone rings during the performance, you will be removed from the room and forced to sit in a corner and eat pink slime. And now, we're going to hear from the group that put the muck in democracy. They've been featured on The Today Show and Nightline. Tonight's show was written on an Etch-a-Sketch. So now, please welcome the Capitol Steps!
The 2012 campaign is here, and boy, has it been fun. We are looking at the candidates and where they get their money.
The dough is overflowing, and when all is said and done, we suspect they will have spent enough to buy a third world country.
The super PACs are out of whack, excessive and atrocious, supported by the billionaires whose checkbooks are precocious.
Their TV spots are piping hot, they're nasty and ferocious.
This kind of toxic politics is hitting a new low. Shush. Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-I.
Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-I.
All fundraising rising mess began with citizens united.
It came down from the highest court, and many tried to fight it.
The pundits are complaining that the process has been blighted.
Cause that hand feeds the Congress too, and they don't want to bite it.
Now incumbents' lips are smacking cause the money is humongous.
Let's send them super packing when this little song is done, yes?
No chance at all they'll change the law. We all should take a long breath.
Remember, the word progress is the opposite of Congress.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Hello, I'm Barack Obama, and I'm here to speak directly to you, the American people, and urge everyone to get on the phone and call your member of Congress in support of my bill to create jobs, because I believe that in just 1 year, I will need one. Of course, one of the keys to creating jobs is starting small businesses. And you may ask me, Mr. Obama, how do you start a small business in this economy? And here's your answer. You start a big business, and then you wait. Recently, I conducted my first town hall meeting using Twitter, and John Boehner submitted a question on the current amount of the national debt. Unfortunately, I was unable to tweet my answer because the national debt is more than 140 characters. Even so, if we had not raised the debt ceiling, I had announced that the government may no longer be able to function. This announcement has come as a great shock to the American people that the government was functioning. Now let me take a moment to talk about Libya. As you know, Muammar Gaddafi has been killed, but we know that the people of Libya are facing an uncertain future. Because even though Muammar Gaddafi is dead, there's always a danger that he will simply be replaced by his brother, Jeb Gaddafi. As you may have also heard, there's some controversy as to where to bury Muammar Gaddafi. Well, we should take a lesson from the Navy SEALs, because we didn't have any such problem when we captured and killed Osama bin Laden. Let me tell you a little bit more about how that all happened. I had some disagreements with things Osama said. He saw himself as living, I kinda saw him dead. So I sent the Navy SEALs in to shoot him in the face. And once they had him reeled in, found the final resting place under the sea. He's gonna be. We gave him 3 plugs, now he's with sea slugs permanently. Now that he's down there in the dark, a sushi platter for the sharks. Now he's with sturgeons instead of virgins. What's my next action? How's this reaction? I won't refuse to send a Fox News crew under the sea. Thank you.
And now the Capital Steps present the cultural portion of our program with a new operetta from Gilbert and Sullivan titled The Merry Wives of Gingrich.
Three little wives of Newt are we.
I'm number 1.
I'm 2.
I'm 3.
Newt is a cheat and we're his cheat. He's three little wives of Newt.
I taught him high school geometry. Oh.
We started dating in '93.
Oh. While he had an open marriage with me.
What is a girl to do?
Three little wives, one thing in common. Married to a philandering Brahmin. We didn't even see it coming. Three little wives of Newt. Three little wives of Newt.
He dumped me right after my surgery.
Then he met you and he left me.
He'll be with me for eternity.
We should have neutered Newt.
From 3 little wives, take 2 away.
One little wife remains, but hey,
She could be gone by election day.
We little wives aren't fools. We only want his jewels.
3 little wives who all unwary chose an adulterous hound to marry.
Now a divorce is necessary.
What?
I've got myself a real sugar mama now. I've found someone who will pay. It's sweet little Fannie Mae.
I'm Herman Cain. And as you know, I've had to suspend my campaign, but hey, at least I kept things interesting for a while. Much in the same way that every movie gets a little more interesting when the pizza delivery guy arrives. So what's next? Though once I let it seems my race is through. Now what is next for Herman Cain to do? I'll be CEO of a company that's mine, marketing a product called Love Potion number 999. I'll sell it far and wide in distant lands. They'll buy it in Uzbekistan. You ladies know that you'll soon be feeling fine. This product can be yours for $9.99. Next time you're in an interview, put some in your tea. You won't mind if the bossman puts his hand on your knee. Whatever he suggests, you will be glad to agree. You know that you will get a job, and so will he. And though it's true that lately I have heard, perhaps harass is really just one word. I've begun to see that the White House wasn't mine, since my approval ratings are .99999. 99999. 99999.
Hello, I'm Vice President Joe Biden. And I've been asked not to speak in public, so here I am. Now, for the 17 Americans that actually pay attention to me, I caused kind of a controversy a little while back. I compared members of the Tea Party to terrorists. And I've been told that I have to apologize, so... I'm sorry, Al Qaeda. Now, even though I've been forbidden from speaking in public, I have not been forbidden from singing in public, so whoopity-doo! I've got a song. It's a fun song. It's sort of a self-defecating song. I think you'll like it. To help me perform it, wow, look at that. She's already there. Okay, here, why don't you take that mic? Here's House Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi. She's a malfunctioning Muppet, apparently. And also our master of race relations, Harry Reid. Harry, where you been? He brings sort of a disco vibe to this song. Let's break it down. Each Democrat has their place in the party.
I've got charisma.
I know how to blink.
No one likes a guy who's just a smarty. That's why I try hard not to overthink.
Because Joe could say something way off kilter.
His invitations might get lost some days.
Perhaps they all got caught in my spam filter. But luckily I show up anyways.
You can't hide this Biden guy, though God knows
little time. You think by now we'd realize
there ain't no way to hide this Biden guy.
Barack Obama is so good at speaking.
He gave a great speech on the budget gap.
That seemed to me the perfect time for sleeping. And the cameras caught old Joe taking a nap.
You can't hide what people see. He was sleeping on TV. Now he's qualified to be
an air traffic controller in D.C.
Glory, glory, glory. Good evening. Praise. I welcome all of you. Can I get an amen? Yes. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a jalapeno little hug rap here? Brothers and sisters, can I speak to you for a minute? Have you been searching for the perfect Republican candidate? Did you once like Michelle Bachmann, but changed your mind? Did you once like Rick Perry, but changed your mind? Did you once like Newt Gingrich, yeah, but changed your mind? And did you not like Mitt Romney, because he sometimes changes his mind? Well, I'm here to tell you that God, I said God, has sent us one true believer. But we did not recognize his greatness. We were too blind to see it. So now God has seen fit to take him from us. Woo, yes, And let me tell you about it. Amazing race, one man has run. He reached a higher plane. We knew him as God's favored son. Santorum is his name. My Christian faith I have professed. Let two men wed, no way. The irony is that my vest made me look sort of gay. Like Lazarus, you once rose up, obscurity to fame. I asked one thing that wasn't tough. Please don't Google my last name. And if this year you did beat Newt, and though I had to quit, someday the flag we won't salute. Instead we'll TiVo it.
Oh, hello, Sonia.
Hi, Ruth. Is there a line?
Of course, there's a line.
Oh, that must be Kagan in there, I bet.
You think? Oh, I remember when I used to have this bathroom all to myself. Before you two got here, I was the hottest woman on the Supreme Court. Oh, back then, I had a chance.
A chance with who?
Oh, come on. Don't pretend you haven't even thought about him. Who's the conservative justice we can't resist? Scalia. Scalia, Scalia, Scalia. Hoy.
Who's the centerfold for strict constructionists?
Scalia, 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 Scalia.
We both love a man named Scalia, and each day I know it more. He can beat me 5-4 all night.
Scalia can take a position on me, and we can spend the night just laughing about women's rights. Scalia, when he's loud, it's just like a promise.
When he's mute, he sounds like Clarence Thomas.
Scalia, mwah, Italian, just like Sam Alito.
Yes, Antonin Scalia looks just like a movie star.
Danny DeVito.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former President George W. Bush.
My fellow Americans, it is I, George W. Bush, and I've been taking a lot of me time lately. I've been crossing things off my bucket list. Last week I used a turtle to kick a field goal. Took him forever to get there. And I've been working on my charities. I teach blind children sign language. But mostly it's been a time of refraction. Just a man alone with his thought. You got that quicker than most audiences. But I can stay quiet and thinking no longer. It's a perilous time for the US of the A. Under the President Obama administration, the United States lost its AAA rating. That means millions of Americans could potentially be stranded on the side of the road with a flat tire. So that's why I was promoting a new fella for president, Governor Rick Perry. I thought Perry was an impressive guy. He needed to know a little bit about being president. If anybody knows a little bit, it's me. Perry was running a great race. Sad he had to drop out. He was running such a great race, people called him a racist. It could have been that, or the fact that he has a hunting lodge with a big rock, and on that rock is a racial epitaph. Or what, epithet? It's like a French word. But Rick Perry is not a racist. He executes people of all colors. So even though I'm sad he's not running for president in 2012, keep my fingers crossed that he will run again in 2013. We've been suffering Barack too long, hearing his same old song. We waited to see who from the GOP could beat us. From Texas there came a new name. With Perry's halo in the ring, it was a new game. His Reagan charm, it could have pleased us. Plus he's Facebook friends with Jesus. He's the man if you were feeling nostalgic for me.
Like a bush-cloned cowboy, riding out on a horse like the host of a rodeo. Texas homegrown cowboy, more macho and right-wing, but maybe almost twice as slow.
He's like me.
I'm Bush 2.0.
Hey, your horse doesn't have a rear end.
Well, he doesn't need one. He's got me. Well, I really did like to campaign, wearing boots and I talked real plain.
But sometimes stay mute or you might stick a boot in your mouth.
Like I said, Texas should secede.
But that's what we need, 'cause it's important in life to secede.
Who cares if I am not that brainy?
We could always thaw out Cheney.
Let him do the thinking while the lights are shining on me. Be a real low-brow boy. Though I tried real hard, I had losses I could not recoup. Gotta think right now, boy.
There were 3 reasons that your campaign failed with right-wing groups.
And those 3 reasons were... Oops.
I'm just a pill, just a birth control pill, and they're grilling me on Capitol Hill. Well, lots of folks would kill me in this capital city. In campaign season, the debate'll not be pretty, but I know I'll be the rule someday. Make mamas rare, yes I will, when Obamacare gives us free pills.
Gee, Pill, you sure have an awful lot of patience and courage.
Yeah, well, I got this far. You know, at first the president said that all health insurers had to cover birth control pills for preventative measures. But then the Republicans complained, and so he amended it so religious groups could opt out.
That's called morning after politics.
I'm just a pill. They'll debate me until they are sick of me on Capitol Hill. Well, they've held hearings in committees that only men addressed.
Now women's rights have become a sausage fest.
Priests and congressmen cannot write the law.
They think they can tutor us. Keep your hands off of my uterus. Oh, gee, listen to all of those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, because the GOP right-wingers got into the debate.
Oh, the proverbial elephant in the womb.
Don't kill free pills, men on Capitol Hill. Just think twice if you don't think women will.
Remember just how you voted.
It could cause an insurrection.
It should be noted, mess with us, lose your election. We women hope that both parties know.
I can prevent pregnancies, true.
And you can prevent presidencies, too.
Well, you know, I just don't think most women are going to want to give up their birth control.
Yeah, you're probably right. But we still don't need the pill.
Well, what do you mean? Do you know some other method that works just as well for birth control?
Oh, sure. A picture of Rush Limbaugh.
on a dark desert highway, staying just out of sight. Just like White House crashes, I don't have an invite. Up ahead in the distance, just past the cactus and sage, I know I can find a brand new job and I'll work minimum wage. Walking inside the border, a million stars out tonight. I was thinking to myself, this place is heaven if you were just white. Then I saw a big searchlight, it was headed my way. I was spotted by a border guard, and then I heard him say,
welcome to the state of Arizona. Have your papers, please, or you'll have to leave. There isn't much room in the state of Arizona if you're darker than George Hamilton.
Would you stop Obama? Say his race isn't pure.
Last week I stopped somebody named Sonia Sotomayor.
Let me check my pockets. I belong here, of course. I will show you my proof now, if you will show me yours. Welcome to my homeland. I was born here. Yes, we've been here 5,000 years. I'm Navajo. We own the land you're on here. We fought illegals too since 1492. Please welcome the hottest former governor from the coldest state, Sarah Palin.
Hello, America! And hello to everybody in the great state of Fort Wayne. I am so thrilled to be here tonight to talk right to ya. Yeah, you betcha. My name is Sarah Palin. And as you know, I am not a candidate for president this year. Oh. Well, you can applaud if you want, but you know, an awful lot of folks are still encouraging me to run. Most of them are Democrats. But the reason I am here tonight is because there's a guy who is running, and I think he is just fascinating. His name is Dr. Ron Paul, and he's a libertarian. Now, when I found out that he was a libertarian, I asked him to please explain the Dewey Decimal System. But it turns out that's a whole different kettle of wax. But libertarians have an awful lot of interests and notions that can't be refuted. But when it comes to actually understanding those notions, there's an awful lot of miscontraceptives out there. So here tonight to talk about some of the stuff he'd do as president, please welcome Dr. Ron Paul.
Oh yes, things are not the same here in this Ron Paul campaign. I'd surrender every war that we're involved in, like Afghanistan and those Iraqis. The war on drugs is also wacky. I'd let you smoke the green, green grass at home. Yes, it helps the way that people view me if you first just smoke a doobie. It's good to toke the green, green grass at home. Now you won't get pot from Rick, and Newt says drugs make him sick. And though Mitt Romney never tokes, we think he needs to. I'm the favorite choice of every teen now. I've been endorsed by Charlie Sheen now. I'll leave grass, coke, and prostitutes alone. Now I think my chance is mediocre, and I'll admit that most pot smokers forget to vote 'cause they are way too stoned. Hello. Welcome to hell. What's your name?
Muammar Gaddafi.
I don't see you here. How do you spell that last name?
Sometimes it's a K, sometimes it's a Q, but no U. A lot of times it's a GH, but it should just be a G. Right there. My mom called me Larry.
Ah! Oh, yes. Muammar Larry Gaddafi. We've been expecting you. It's just, we're having trouble to finding you a roommate. Have you tried Match.com? Down here we use real matches.
Well, look, what about Saddam Hussein? I always thought we had a lot in common.
Oh, you certainly did. Like you were both pulled from the ground, and as you know, down here, we don't use showers, so talk about your weapons of mass disgusting. Oh, wait a minute. It looks like we got a new arrival. Maybe he could be your roommate.
Who is it?
Kim Jong-il. So, Mr. Il, what did you do to deserve hell?
This is hell? This is a whole lot nicer than North Korea.
Look, I don't want a room with this hobbit. I just don't think we'd see eye to eye.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well.
Other options? I mean, you've got the script there. Is Mel Gibson dead yet?
I wish you were.
Hey, you! Did you say I no room with you? I no room with you. I want Fidel Castro. Is he dead yet? Fidel.
Fidel Castro, he's not dead yet.
Oh, he like the Energizer commie. He keep going and going and going.
All right. Just move along.
I was going anyway. I have to get my beauty rest. I've been dead for 2 months and I still look better than Larry King.
I'd be so glad to get rid of it.
They should have him for their 101st lecture. Well, look, I'm feeling kind of frisky. I would like my 72 virgins, please.
Oh, awkward. I guess you didn't read the fine print, huh? Not ringing a bell? Where it says, actual virgins may vary. What? Yeah. You see, it's not heaven, and down here, it's not 72 virgins. It's one virgin, and he's 72.
It's not cool, man. I'm supposed to be in heaven. I'm a martyr. Get heaven on the phone. They will get me a lawyer and sue your ass.
Really? And where do you think you're going to find a lawyer in heaven?
For now the Congress is Republican. Nancy Pelosi's out, John Boehner's in. The Democrats had no cohesive plan.
when this mess began.
I'm John Boehner. Know with whom you're dealing. I have pain from moving the debt ceiling. Now the followers of me don't drink Kool-Aid, only tea. The results that you all saw election night gave power to the loonies of the right. We prefer our ice hockey team with no left wing. We should not let left-handers pitch a game. I am not a cold-hearted kind of guy. If you say I'm insensitive, I'll cry. My appeal is that I look quite orange. I just realized nothing rhymes with orange. And so now I'll tell the truth. I don't use a tanning booth to look like steak that's overcooked a tad. The fact is that I'm really Snooki's dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, for many years, the Capitol steps have been poking fun at all kinds of big scandals and stupid politicians, and we always ask, what could be better? Yeah, I said that too fast. I'm going to try again, sorry. JD's and Lentilman. For Yenny Mears, the Stapital Keps have been poking pun at all kinds of skigbandles, pooped stoliticians, and we always ask, butt could be wetter. Yank through, yank through, yank through. Now, for those of you who are terst fimers, whip your flirts. Hopefully you'll hit the gang of it, but if you need to, feel free to nibble down some scrotes. Let me give you the quick listery lesson of the Stapital Keps. We began in 1981. Back then we had resident pagan who wanted us to gin one for the whipper. Then we got the original Borge Gush. Lead my rips. Then we got Clill Benton, alias Wix Lily. Whenever Clill Benton saw a really chot hick, he'd say, "Oh, this is my ducky lay." Then came the era of Borge Yubbledoo Gush. And Yubbledoo was not the fartest smeller in the world. Our leerless feeder had a QI in the dingle sigits. That brings us to the end of 2000 Tate, when we got our most recently erected president, the Democratic candidate, Karak. And when we first looked at Karak, we immediately thought, there is fucking nonny about him! And that's what we need. We make fun of the Pearl of Politics, the Remocrats, the D-Republicans. It's what you have traditionally called the poo-tardy system. Some people call that constipation. And for a while now, threatening the poo-tardy threatening the poo-tardy, we've had the pee-tardy. And how the hell are we going to fit the pee-tardy into the poo-tardy? Now, for a comedian, the petardy has been gummity cold. You know, they think resident Obama is a maniacal fuzzlum. And the petardy's main opportunist higurfed, or petard, if you will, parasailing. I know. Parasailing sounds like something you do on the beach, right? Well, I wouldn't. Not even with a 10-foot toll. But say what you will about parasailing, you gotta give her this. That woman was lorn to be a boner. And she just loves to trot out the whole Phelan family, you know? There's her husband Pod and her 5 kiddo lids, Piper, Pillow, Pistol, Packin' Pig. And for a long time, all of the Hawking Teds on VT, they were wondering, will parasailing run for resident in 2012? And they'd say, bite me. But she didn't, because look at all the people she would have been up against. We've only got 3 left. Ponrawl, Rit Momney, and Gut Ningrich. But we lost a lot of people along the way. We lost Bichel Machman. That went over better normally. We lost Pim Talenti. We lost Tronald Dump. We lost Pick Rary. Or would that be Prick Airy? Pick or prick, I guess it depends on if you were going to vote for him or not. We just lost Sic Rantorum. And we never got that I was about to say that fella Huckabee. There's like 7 of you that just figured it out, right? The one we lost that really broke our heart was Kerman Hain. Kerman Hain, all because these women came forward and said that they'd been sexually sore-assed. Kerman Hain apparently likes to bickle the tootie. But Kerman Hain is just the latest example in what is our favorite kind of skig bandle, and that is the skeck sandal. There are always plenty of skeck sandals. I mean, over the past 3 years alone, we've had Fark Moley, Sark Manford, Weiger Toods, Crary Leg, Fret Brarv, Editor Sedwards. Oh, what a boopid dastard he turned out to be. The Gormer Fovener of Phalicornia. Schwanel Schmut Owuck. Schwarnold weeded on his chife, Shariam River, and she is titty pricked off because now she knows how he was tending his sperm. But the one we love the most came Sast Lummer in the form of former Congressman Anthony Weiner. I didn't switch his name. His name's Weiner. That's already funny. In fact, last summer, that was a gift from the comedy gods. Weiner originally said that his hitter was twacked. You with me? He said that his hitter was twacked, but he lied. He was the one who was peating his tweenus. And he was the one putting that tweenus all over Basefook. I don't know why I'm doing that with my finger. If he could do that, that would be awesome. I just want to ask Anthony Weiner, did he honestly think he was going to wed a gay with it? Well, now you can in New York, right? Weiner apparently walks around with a Pamera in his cocket. And he takes a bunch of photos of his farts. Pap shots of his snackage. Of course he jit his quab. And he said he was going to go to HERAB. But how do you go to HERAB for something like that? Doc, I have a problem. Every time I shake a tower, I get out, I eye myself draw off, I meet myself in the mirror, and I think, whoa. That is one dig bong. That's my Anthony Weiner Heisman pose right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I suppose if I had any kind of storal to this rambling Maury of mine, it would be this. People like Anthony Weiner are a nunch of butts. They think they're different. They think they're better than Moo and Yee. And I guess to some extent they are, because if I cried any of this trap, I would immediately choose my lob and have my slut thrown in the bammer. Which is where I like to keep my slut. But Anthony Weiner is going to recover. You know why? I'll tell you. Because this is the AS of you. It's the AS of you. Come on, it's the friend of the Lee and the Brome of the Have. It's a place where checkers can be boozers. It's a place where everyone wants to live the American lay of life. Openly. And most importantly, it's a place where we are all free to lick our own Peter. Yang Fu. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having us, and especially we're honored to be your 100th lecture. In your face, Edward James Olmos. And we've been talking about you backstage, too. I hope nobody heard us on the backstage mic, but we want you to know of all the audiences that we've ever performed for, you guys are the most recent, so thank you. We're going to do one more song and then take a 15-minute intermission. At that point, please do whatever it is you do during intermission. Maybe get yourself a tasty beverage, because we're a lot funnier if you're drunk. If you get a chance, stop by out there. Our 3 most recent CDs are for sale, including our latest and greatest. It's called Desperate House Members. These CDs make great gifts for people who still use CDs. If you stop by, you can pick up a complimentary copy of the Words to the Backward Talking Stories, the Spoonerisms that I was doing. We call those the Lurty Dies. But I'm supposed to warn you, if you pick up a copy, you take it home and learn it, you will fart to stink that way.
Arg. Ahoy, me hearty. Let me hear you say arg.
Oh, very good. Now, whenever I point to you, I want you to say arg. Let's give it a try. Aha! Now, I'm a pirate. We're here to prove. What? I'm doing it. Yes. All right. Let's say arg again. I'm here tonight to appeal to your heartstrings and your purse strings. We know that times are tough for everyone, but nowhere are they tougher than if you're a pirate off the coast of Somalia these days. So it's time for a pirate fundraiser. Oh, yes, and to help us out, we got some fine landlubber celebrities. First, Scottish YouTube singing sensation, Susan Boyle.
I'm 48 years old and I've never been kissed.
Oh, it's easy to see why no one has ever dropped anchor in that lagoon. Next, singing legend Bob Dylan. Truer words were never almost spoken. And finally, direct from Celebrity Apprentice, Donald Trump.
I'm tired of you pirates monopolizing the market. I'm going to start my own group of pirates, name it after myself. I will call them Trumpets.
He makes $3 million an episode, and they call me a pirate. But now it's time for a song parody. There comes a time when you got to show the world there are pirates who are lost, broke, and tired.
I was born in the U.S., as president should be. I'd love to say to Barack, you're fired.
I hope the pirates are not like Scottish men who like their dates to have 4 legs.
We, the world, we, the pirates, we, the ones who all the Navy SEALs would like to fire at.
Do I wear a hairpiece? I never will disclose, but I don't go out on windy days or it's there she blows.
Now lawyers will descend on every port and ask for arbitration in our court.
I would date a pirate if he was cute like you.
I wouldn't need an eye patch, I'd be needing too. All right, everyone, sing with Bob Dylan. We are the ones that when the boat is huge, we do admire it. We can't make a living from just pirate attacks. That's why we pirates went to work for Goldman Sachs. Hello, maggots. As you know, Congress has repealed the Defense Department's Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, allowing gay soldiers to serve openly in the military. So I'm here to let some of you good old boys know that discrimination against gay soldiers will no longer be tolerated. As you know, we in the military believe in protecting our privates. First soldier, fall in. Fighting in Afghanistan, brave young men, now buff and tan, they could kick your butt today. We are the men of the Queen Beret.
Brave young men now fill our ranks. Decorate and paint the tanks. Join the Navy, there's no way. Can't wear white past Labor Day. Women now have heard the news. New recruits get sensible shoes. Lesbians with perfect aim.
Militia Etheridge is our name.
We are marching to Baghdad with awesome guns and killer abs. The enemy now runs away. Our battle cries, YMCA! Men and women round the globe, battling not just homophobes. Fight and die for the USA, where they can't wed just 'cause we're gay. Jazz hands!
Dude, this is a great singles mixer and tofu barbecue, don't you think?
Yeah.
For friends of the dirt. Man, I love your hemp poncho.
Oh, thanks. Actually, it's made from fuzz drawn from the navel of a free-range protected Tanzanian chimpanzee. Would you care for a carrot?
Only if it's organic and pesticide-free.
Absolutely, I grew it myself.
It's not that easy being green. Having to remember to unplug all my appliances every time I leave the house. When I think it might be easier just to ignore the polar bears in the Arctic and all the chlorofluorocarbons and just eat my refrigerator, my microwave, my Xbox, my television, my Blu-ray player, my DVD player, my lamp, my other lamp, and the lamp upstairs, and the lamp in my basement plugged in all day long.
I know. It's not that easy being green. Sometimes folks give me weird looks when I do ordinary things. Like when I compost my own toenail clippings and use them to fertilize my garden of organic carrots. And now using pine cones instead of toilet paper has given me this really weird rash. Oh.
Use this.
Thank you.
But green's the color of grass.
And grass makes great dental floss.
But with fair trading habits and no tests on rabbits, my teeth now grow moss.
Oh. Is that a leather belt you've got? Tell me how now. Can you kill a cow now?
No. No, this hair, this belt is made of pleather.
Oh.
Pleather that was collected from the bark droppings of the Indonesian rainforest, droppings of bark.
Indonesian? Are you kidding me? Do you know how big the carbon footprint is on anything that is shipped by diesel tanker? I absolutely cannot date you unless you're an omniloco-decavegivore. You heard me. I will only eat vegetables who have died of natural causes. Within 50 feet of my house.
Right. You still want to make out?
Oh, sure.
My Hummer's parked out back.
And now, in the grand tradition of Mike Dukakis, Paul Tsongas, and John Kerry, every presidential campaign needs at least one candidate from Massachusetts. So please welcome Republican candidate for 2012, Mitt Romney.
I'm so handsome, am I not? I could host a TV game. That's my photograph you got when you bought that picture frame. I backed healthcare in the past, so to win the White House fight, gotta change positions fast. Help me fake it to the right. And if religion is your thing, go to Broadway now and find that they love the Book of Mormon. So I think this year is mine. I'll need 10 million votes, they say, to be my party's nominee. I'll get them all the Mormon way when every Osmond votes for me. Well, who's that? I'm not expecting anybody. Come in. Hello. Look who is joining me. It's all my friends who've run against me from the GOP.
Hello, my name is Herman Cain. There's a 50-50 chance I'm certifiably insane.
Hello, I'm Newt, remember me. And if you vote for me, the moon will have a colony.
Hello, it's really me, Michelle, and anyone who didn't vote for me is going straight to...
Hello, Rick Perry is our guy. And did I mention Herman Cain just tried to rub my thigh?
Hello, Santorum must concede. I've won in several states, but they're not states where anyone can read.
Hello, I'm back again, Ron Paul. And if, like me, you're anti-government, don't vote at all.
Who's that?
That's Huntsman over there.
He's just a basic, decent guy. That's why he never had a prayer.
Hello. On next election day, you can say no to hope and change and choose a better way. Just go down to your polling place and put an X next to my face.
Because this vote could change your life.
Could change your life.
I'll change my wife.
Don't vote Obama. Hell no.
Guten Abend. I am German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and we have a situation in Europe. It seems that the Germans are the only people who have not been spending too much money. While all the other countries were out shopping, we were at home practicing our marching. So, now they want us to bail out all of Europe, which would really annoy us if we didn't have such a good sense of humor. So, we now present to you a new musical, Grease. Buy your tickets now, only 15 billion euros each, starring Greek Prime Minister George Papandreou, French President Nicolas Sarkozy, and me, Angela Merkel. Play it! We can't tell Greeks how they should run their lives, but you cannot retire when you are 25.
We're all in danger, we must make a deal.
It's quite ironic that Greece is the squeaky wheel.
Greece is the worst.
Greece is the worst, is the worst, is the worst.
A
But now the euro is in trouble and they like to blame the Greeks.
Keep talking, whoa, keep talking.
An economic bubble cause we work 10 hours a week.
We'll keep the money, you bet we'll keep the money.
We'll send gifts to show remorse.
Not another Trojan horse.
Here's another way to go.
Charge $1,000 for each gyro?
Greece is frightening. Oh, Greece is frightening. You wonder what the Greeks are doing.
Greece frightening, whoa, Greece frightening.
Oh, Greece is frightening. We've always had a thing for ruins.
Greece frightening, whoa, Greece frightening.
We are a real Achilles heel. A Greece is frightening.
Mein heart is saying, fool, forget them. As head of state, I should let go.
I'd be rude to them. That's what I intend to do.
We're hopelessly devalued, it's true.
Summer days looking so lean.
Spending days beyond their means.
Oh, we just don't know what to do.
I'd surrender if I were you. There's no doubt we should not bail you out, but oh, maybe China might.
Well, tell me more, tell me more.
What's the best thing to do?
Tell me more, tell me more.
How about talking to who?
Who?
China could save us for sure.
But in an hour, you'd be hungry for more.
China could give Greece a start. They could build a great Walmart.
Someone sane would not save us again. But we think China
Europe's poor, give us more.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may know that recently Barack Obama sang the blues with B.B. King at a White House party. But you may not know he also is starring in a Broadway musical. Here's a clip.
A fiddler with the truth. Sounds crazy, no? But in this little city of Washington, D.C., you might say that every one of us is a fiddler with the truth, trying to take the position that makes everyone happy. You might ask, is it possible to answer a question in a way that doesn't offend anyone? Well, yes and no. So it's time to say a prayer for our country. Oh, dear Lord. Wait a minute. I don't want to offend anyone. So let's just say, oh, possible divine architect of unknown denomination and indeterminate sex. We know that there are many, many poor people. Wait a minute. Poor sounds disparaging. So let's just call them disenfranchised. I know that there's no shame to being disenfranchised. Of course, it's no great honor either. So what would be so terrible if I took just a little bit more of some people's good fortune and spread it around a little bit? If I tax each rich man, oh, Solyndra, I could lend you all the cash you'd ever want. All day long I'd piddle tiny sums if I tax each wealthy man. Oh, who cares if they work hard? Warren Buffett said to stuff it, I can tough it out and then I would have so many, many fans if I tax the lawns where Boehner tans. I'd give free health insurance out by the millions, pay off the houses they foreclose. Electric cars without any tanks to fill. There would be new green fuels with jobs by the thousands. If we paid, no one would be opposed. If we forced Catholics to go on the pill, I'd start new programs where your cat could get food stamps. Class warfare lines would now be drawn. If the rich complain, I'd just raise their tax again. And as my stash goes up, I'd have extra money to pay for gay weddings from now on. But only if they play It's Raining Men. It's such a simple tax plan for the rate that is now great for you and you and you and you. Will be in the budget I submit. Here is where I get votes now for it. Your tax rate will now apply to it. Ha-ha! And I'll betcha that you 10,000 middle-class voters, that if that happened, I'd be a re-elected man.
Hello. I'm Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano, here to reassure you that we remain vigilant regarding the issue of airline security. You may have heard that we recently convicted the man who attempted to bomb a flight to Detroit on Christmas Day 2009. As you know, your government has gotten very, very good at anticipating these events after they occur. For example, after the shoe bomber, we required you to remove your shoes. Then after the attempt with liquids, we restricted you to just 3 ounces. So, in response to the Christmas Day 2009 bombing attempt, we are now introducing the following changes. Because the bomber was sitting in seat 19F, we have removed seat 19F from all aircraft. Because he had explosives hidden in his underwear, we are now forbidding. You're way ahead of me. There will no longer be an onboard channel which will track your flight path. In fact, we're not going to tell you where any of the flights are going. You'll simply pick a plane and take your chances. Luckily for you, the terrorists will be just as confused as you are. We're also introducing new scanning devices at all airports. The bad news is that all passengers will have to proceed through the scanner completely naked. The good news is that this will be considered an MRI under Obamacare. And there will be a $15 copay. Now, as I said, your government is doing everything in its power to try to head off any potential threats. I'm not saying we're going to profile per se, but we will try to pick up on those subtle clues. Gentlemen, has anybody unknown to you given you anything to take aboard this flight?
Unknown.
No, we knew him.
My work here is done.
Huh. Well, I'll tell you. She seemed like a really nice man.
Oh, yeah.
Strangers on your flight might cause a scare. Well, it is just not right. They seized my hair gel.
We could yell jihad before your flight is through. Hear the liberals say we can't profile them. We'll pass TSA with just a smile then.
As they stop some nuns and make them all get nude.
Strangers on your flight, are you concerned that we're a danger to your flight? Hey Ahmed, does my new explosive rig make my butt look big?
Honestly, your derriere looks smoking in that underwear.
Now every single flight, when you must travel, be prepared to fight if things unravel.
Where did we fly from? You'll hear it when we hum. Dubai, Dubai, do. Dubai.
Dubai, Dubai, do is where we flew by. Hey Ahmed, what do you think will happen to us now?
Though I lit a bomb and I burned my tuchus, that is not the charge on which they'll book us.
We are facing life for smoking on a flight.
Ha ha ha.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with the TSA. And we realize that when you travel, you have your choice of invasive airline security measures. So tonight, I am here with a hands-on demonstration. Now, I know a lot of you prefer the full-body scanners, which we like to refer to as the ISL, ISF machines, which is short for I see London, I see France. Still, I know some of you prefer the pat-down, which I highly recommend. We will also be conducting random screenings, and whoa! Yes, ma'am, you have been randomly selected. I'll need to inspect that bottle of water, please. Every time I see a pretty girl in line, I start to hoping she will choose the pat-down rather than the x-ray so I can start to groping. Since the TSA says that it's okay to be fondled by some slob, we've had a flood of complaints as well as applications for this job. Put your cans in the hands of the man who steals your water. Let this hunk give the junk in your trunk a little squeeze. And now you can start to do your part, so raise your hands and please put your cans in the hands of the man with the GED.
My mama taught me what to do with guys like you before the age of 7. She said try avoiding guys who aren't fit to work at 7-Eleven.
Now when you're in line, your body's mine. Backsides can hide a gun.
When you're groped by a dope, well, you know the terrorists have won.
I demand that you stand where the handbook says you oughta. I demand that you stand.
Oh, do what you must do.
Says on your ID, your name is Lee.
But once my name was Hugh. You've been putting your hand on the gland of a tranny. Now the joke's on you.
I am a private detective. My father named me Hugh. My mother named me Jim. Last name Bissell. So people call me Hugh Jim Bissell. Times were tough. The recession hit me hard. I was working less than a West Virginia tooth fairy. Job leads were colder than Ann Coulter stamping passports at the Mexican border. One night I came home. I was tired. I hit the couch like a Letterman intern looking for a raise. That joke's too much, but the West Virginia tooth fairy joke was fine. As tired as I was, I couldn't sleep, so I turned on the TV. I didn't feel like watching the news, so I watched Fox. Tell me how you really feel. And after watching Michelle Bachmann's husband teach Bert and Ernie how to pray the gay away, I finally decided to turn in. But just then, the phone rang. Someone had a job for me. I was being asked to investigate the Occupy Wall Street protesters. The protesters were saying a lot, but nobody knew what the hell they were saying. They were being less coherent than Roger Clemens at a congressional hearing. So it was time to go to work. I packed a bag and booked my flight from JFK to LaGuardia. Of course, it was a Southwest flight, so I connected through Boise, Phoenix, Seattle, Honolulu, Tampa, and Newark. Once I got down there to Wall Street, everyone was chanting, "We are the 99%." I was skeptical about this, so I did a little research, and it turns out that 73.4% of all statistics are made up. So I started to talk to these smelly hippies about what they wanted, what they were doing there, what they hoped to accomplish. And smelly they were. Let me tell you, the air was so overwhelming. The stench was so overpowering. The people were going down into the subway station just to get a breath of fresh air. And I haven't seen that many sweaty, half-naked men since gym class in high school. And I was homeschooled. I talked to a few more people, got their thoughts, their opinions. I was only half paying attention because there were street performers there, and I love street performers. I found it especially amusing when the police arrested a mime. They actually told him he had the right to remain silent. This, of course, got the other street performers very upset, and Mayor Bloomberg told them if they didn't stay calm, he would hose them down. This caused quite a panic among several members of the Blue Man Group. No matter who I talked to, I just wasn't getting the answers I needed, and I knew that this Occupy movement would just go on, and people would eventually stop caring. So I moved on to my next assignment, I'd been told that somebody drilled a peephole in a local Victoria's Secret dressing room. And I was going to look into it.
Senator John McCain.
My friends, it's obvious that the Republican Party is not satisfied with the current presidential candidates. So I have been going door to door asking people this simple question. Do I live here? It's also clear that most people don't want Mitt Romney, so I've decided to throw my hat in the ring, and this time I will win, because this time I will not pick a vice president with a lack of experience or a pregnant daughter. So please welcome my running mate, Bob Dole. Oh, here we go.
They say Bob Dole is too old to be vice president. They say Bob Dole doesn't have the memory he used to. They say Bob Dole doesn't have the memory he used to. But Bob Dole is back and better than ever. Now I've got this new hearing aid, so I can't be stopped.
And what kind is it?
Almost 9.
Just leave those fresh faces on the shelf.
You want experience in 2012.
And 2 past candidates have broken the mold. McCain and old-timer Robert Dole. I served America in Vietnam.
I look as though I may have been embalmed.
If you're annoyed by guys with bladder control, you're like this old-timer Robert Dole.
We don't waste any time on Facebook now.
Don't tweet our underwear, we don't know how.
Can't figure out my new remote control.
McCain and old-timer Robert Dole. I know we'll win it in all 13 states.
I need Viagra just to stand up straight.
Who won't believe there's an ozone hole? McCain and old-timer Robert Dole. Call us old relics, call us what you will.
But when they're fighting up on Capitol Hill,
who's not afraid to yell,
shut your pie hole!
McCain and old-timer Robert Dole. His inexperience we're gonna mock.
'Cause we've got underwear
old as Barack.
Bob Dole. Bob Dole.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably heard that some of the Republican Congress has been trying to repeal Obamacare, and they're hoping that the Supreme Court finds it unconstitutional. And in case you thought there was no viable alternative plan, well, I'm here tonight to tell you that those same Republicans have been in negotiations with the same fine people that once ran FEMA. And because of the budget situation we have right now, they're not sure they're going to be able to cover everyone. So under this plan, they won't be able to cover such things as illness. You'll have to go to doctors that charge much higher fees and have much lower standards, like me. So we say, go ahead, smoke, drink, run with scissors. If you live a long life, it's going to cost us way too much money. Let's have a patient out here, please. Yes, sir. What seems to be the problem?
Never send your food back at a Benihana.
You don't look like you will be dead soon, and they're transplant guys that came before you. So take a seat in back with the head wounds. We've got a lot of livers to do. Next patient. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Whoa. It appears that your hand is missing. Were you born with one hand or two? If it's two, well, that's pre-existing. You've got a lot of splaining to do. Get out, there's the door. Out, out, out. I saw that. Oh, it's Octomom. That's too many kids. Take a few back, we won't cover you. All we will do is put a cork in you. Here's the thing, we're telling the voters, you want health care? Sure, I'll give it to you. For a shark attack, you'll need 2 weeks' notice. The costs have grown humongous. Up there in the Congress, they've got a lot of fibbing to do. Sucks to be you.
A long, long time ago, we used to get our food homegrown, and toothpaste used to make you smile. It used to be you'd shop with ease, never eating antifreeze. You planned to keep on living quite a while. Now our canned goods are delivered from somewhere up the Yangtze River. No one knows the source there, so you might find some horsehair. But if corporations make a buck, they don't give a flying Peking duck. And with this system we are stuck today. It makes you sigh. Now when you buy an American pie, your grandma didn't bake it, it was made in Shanghai, where they engineered the apples to be juicy, not dry, when the crust was made from cardboard and lye. Don't feed it to your dog, he might die. Did you eat a tasty cake, and did it make your stomach ache? I guess I could have told you so. And the reason you are looking wan is some guy took bribes in Szechuan, and you just ate a piece of Little Debbie's toe. Now those toys you bought from Fisher-Price have toxins deemed unsafe for mice, and Elmo tends to wheeze 'cause he's laced with PCBs. Now all those problems seem so far when I see my cheap new DVR. I'll even chew some gum called guar, 'cause you will see that I'll buy stuff made by some young guy. I bought a Chevy and it's heavy, but the price was too high. Soon $20 will buy a car from Shanghai, and honey, that'll be the day we all die.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. On behalf of the cast, I got to tell you, if you enjoyed tonight's performance half as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, then we enjoyed it twice as much as you did. I'd like to invite you to check out our website, www.capitalsteps.com. You can look at pictures, download songs, and find our public schedule all across the country. Just remember the website. If there's breaking news, go right to capsteps.com, and you can find out what rhymes with the breaking news. Also, because we're so cool, you can follow us on the Twitter or you can friend us on the Facebook. LOL. You will be LMing your effing AO. Hopefully. Now, our big exciting finale to be introduced by someone more big and exciting than me. Well, more exciting anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Capitol Steps recently celebrated our 30th anniversary. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. It all started back in 1981 at a Senate office Christmas party. We originally intended to put on a traditional nativity play. But in all of Congress, we couldn't find 3 wise men or a virgin. Oh, so many things have happened in the last 30 years, and so much of it has been funny. I mean, we couldn't possibly tell you all about it. Or could we? We are going to attempt at great physical peril to 2 of our performers. Kevin, John, come on out here. We are going to attempt to summarize 30 years in 3 minutes. Now, these guys are highly trained professionals. Please do not try this at home. And of course, as always, no wagering. First stop, 81, Ronald Reagan, lots of fun. Perestroika, Gorbachev, Lorena Bobbitt sliced it off. Walter Mondale didn't win, why? There you go again. Top banana in Havana, Castro was in power then. Fawn Hall stuffed cups, Mayor Berry was set up. George Bush throwing up on the Japanese. Al Haig pulled rank, Mike Dukakis in a tank, Dan Quayle VP, spell potato with an E. We didn't start satire, but once you see these listed, how could we resist it? Where there's smoke, there's fire. What was just enjoyment became our employment. Pee-wee at a porno flick, O.J. Simpson made us sick, and the glove didn't fit. Jury said we must acquit. Clarence Thomas made a joke, something hairy on his coke. Ross Perot won our hearts, giant ears and homemade charts. Amy Fisher's shooting spree, Tanya Harding whacked a knee. Songs about Bob Dole, Saddam Hussein, Spider Hole. Clinton made a big mess, who thought she would keep the dress? William J. blown away, what else do I have to say? We didn't start satire. There's no way of knowing where cigars are going. If that cigar's on fire, then while it's still burning, a new song we're learning. Michael Jackson wasn't right, can't tell if he's black or white. Florida screwed up bad, left us all with hanging chads. W, bad reviews, someone threw a pair of shoes. Al Gore lost a race, Cheney shot friends in the face. Olympics had the dream team, then the Howard Dean scream. Thurman turned 100 and mad cows began to rant. John Kerry, Purple Heart, Uday Kuse blown apart. Remember Ted Kennedy? I forgot my pants. We didn't start satire, or the Unabomber, or the Octomama. If someone is a liar, then it's not much time before the name we're rhyming. Hans Blix, Bill Frist, mission not accomplished. Senator Barack Obama, black guy, white mama. Rod Blagojevich was there, he had Justin Bieber hair. Bob Dole facelift, sold pills make you stiff. Tiger Woods, booty calls, Larry Craig, bathroom stalls. Bernie Madoff, Tom DeLay, and Abramoff all go to jail. John McCain takes a dive, Fidel Castro still alive. A governor looks for tail on the Appalachian Trail. We didn't start the fire, but with each election we've got new selections. We would have to retire if they did their jobs right, so we will go on and on.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the piano, David Kane. Presenting the Capitol Steps, Jack Rolls, John Bell, Barry Byrne, Janet Davidson Gordon. I'm Kevin Corbin, thank you, good night.